Estefania, how do you decided to plan a song about numbers?
I decided to use a song with numbers because the students that you observed me with had not had English class for a whole year, so they've kind of forgotten some of the basics. So I usually pick songs that will help them review, like days of the week or numbers and things like that.
Okay. In your class, you play with the students handman. How do you decide what type of game works best for this group, or how do you adapt the game for the age of the students?
I chose that game because, well, one, based on the age of the students, they're third graders, and it's easy for me to guide them with that game. Like, I'm the one guiding the game, and they're just having fun and playing. So that's why I decided to use that game.
Learning while playing.
Learning while playing, yes.
Okay, so you read a beautiful story named What I Wanted. Why did you decide to use this storybook?
I chose it because it adapted well to the learning aim that I had for that day, which
The
was
topic?
Differentiating a need and a want.
Okay. Do you find it easier for students to comprehend the story if you mime it or act it out? And the story mentions as well as to point to the pictures?
Yes, especially since they're third graders, they need me to make different voices, for me to mime and point to the pictures. It draws their attention and they understand it better.
For checking their comprehension, you ask them different type of questions, and in some you made some inferences. Do you find it easier to check a students' comprehension with questions, or do you use other techniques?
Yes, for this activity I used questions, but I also use other techniques like showing them flashcards with images from the story that they have to order, and according to what they remember.
Okay. You also apply the brain break in your class. How do you decide what brain break to use, and does your students enjoy them?
Yes, they really do enjoy them. They even ask me, like, teacher, it's time for the brain break. And I chose that particular brain break because we had gone to a teachers convention not too long ago, and the person there gave us a lot of tips of what brain breaks we could use, so I chose one of those.
And do you think your class goes smoother using brain breaks?
It does, because first I prepare them for the activity, for the task that they're going to do. I explain, and then the brain break, and then they do the activity, so it helps them to relax and then concentrate on what's coming ahead.
In this particular class, you use an exercise in which students had to classify needs and wants on the board. You gave them an example first, and then you asked for volunteers. How did you decide that it was best for your students to use cards with names instead of pictures?
Well, because I want them to get a little bit more accustomed to working with words and grammar.
With the vocabulary.
With vocabulary, since they haven't had much practice with that. I thought maybe it was better for them start to relate to the vocabulary instead of just the images.
Could you say that you wanted to elevate the complication of the exercise?
Yes, that's it.
I like that. Okay, and to end your class, you gave students a worksheet where they had to classify or do a similar exercise than the one they did on the board. Do you think that these types of activities in which they have to manipulate materials are better for your students' age?
Yes, since they're third graders, like I said before, they like doing activities where they have to manipulate the material, not just, write in the notebook or answer these questions. I have to look for something that will draw their attention so that they enjoy doing it.
Okay, that is it. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you.